It's time for Marry Me Monday, the fun, timely, sometimes romantic, sometimes spirited live radio program with your hosts, Jeff Dorsey and Sherry Bussey, presented by Emerald City Jewelers, 33rd and Broadway, Quincy.
And good morning, everyone. Marry Me Monday edition on the air here with Sherry Bussey alongside. How are you?
I'm great.
And a lot of lawnmowers this past weekend, the last couple of weeks, really, where the grass has been growing
It's
out
that
there.
time of year, isn't it? It's
I guess
great.
so. But people need to get away from the lawnmowers and get into your store, though.
That's right. A lot of people have probably neglected their rings over the winter, and it's time to get in and get them cleaned and checked and inspected.
Yep.
We've got a brand new rhodium plating solution that has a really bright white finish, and it's a nice hard finish that lasts a long time. So if you are a customer of ours and you've bought a white gold ring and you'd like to get it rhodium plated, we do it for you once a year free. So bring it in, we'll get it cleaned and polished and checked and rhodium plated. And if your ring didn't come from us, we'll still do it for you.
Okay.
And also we'll inspect it. A lot of people lost their jeweler they had in the mall over the last year, and they need to keep getting the inspections done for their insurance policy through that company. Mm-hmm. So we can check it for you and clean it, and it doesn't matter if it came from our store or not.
Okay. And anything that needs repairs, you're right there for them,
That's
too.
right.
So
we've got one of the best jewelers in the area, my son. No bragging, just the truth.
Well, it's the truth.
Yeah,
It's the truth.
it is the truth. Tyler is a fabulous jeweler, and he is able to use fabulous equipment. In the past, when you had to solder something with torch, you couldn't heat a lot of the stones that didn't tolerate the extra torch.
Yeah.
You could heat a sapphire, you could heat a ruby, and you could heat a diamond, but any other stone you'd have to take out.
Yeah.
But now with the laser welder, which is kind of interesting, the laser beam does not occur in nature anywhere. It's a man-made form of light through a crystal. So it's a really highly concentrated, intense beam of light that melts metal on contact. So instead of having to introduce solder that is a foreign substance that's typically a little bit of gold and some other alloys that blend the molecules together and bridge the gap with this foreign material of solder, now you can weld the actual metal back together again and not introduce any other foreign material. So it's a better joint, it's stronger, it's more pure, and it's done at Emerald City Jewelers.
And basically, he's a laser surgeon is what he is.
Yes, he is. Very precise. And sometimes you have to get right up next to something.
Yeah.
And all this little filigree work from antique rings are now able to be repaired. With the torch, you didn't have a whole lot of control about where the heat was at. And if you added some solder, maybe if you added just a little bit too much, it would fill in the lacy filigree, and then you're sunk, you know.
So
But
with the technology that's out there, it's incredible these days.
It's a really real benefit.
Of course, Tyler keeps up on all that stuff.
We
too.
don't send it out, and if you didn't get it from us, or if it's a family heirloom or anything, we will work on it.
Perfect. All right, can we get the story?
Sure, let's hear it.
It says here, my husband and I met when we were in high school. He dated my best friend, and he and I could not even stand each other. I really hated this guy. But because he was dating my best friend, most of my high school memories are with him. Long story short, he and my friend ended up breaking up, and I moved to a different town and never really had any contact with him for the last 5 years. I moved back to my hometown, and I would see him occasionally, but still didn't care for him at all. Several years later, I was at a graduation party, and he showed up there, and we talked and we laughed. And I remember leaving the party and thinking, I'm pretty sure he was flirting with me that night. We started texting each other quite a bit, and he would stop by my house just to visit. He was amazing. I found myself thinking, I can't believe I ever hated this guy. I will never forget on the night of our first date, we went bowling, and on the way home, he told me to pull the car over. And I asked why, and he said he just wanted to kiss me. He was funny, kind, smart, strong, good-looking, and caring, and everything I wanted. 2 years after our first date, we got married. People that have known us since high school still comment on how we hated each other in high school and that they would never have imagined that we'd be married. We've been married for 4 years now. We still tell people how much we hated each other back then. Maybe I should put the hate over here and move forward.
Yeah.
But quite a story right there.
That's darling.
And we thank somebody for sending that to us here. We appreciate them doing so. And they'll get a nice gift certificate from Emerald City Jewelers for allowing us to read it on the air. So if you have a story like that, send it to y101radio.com. Maybe we'll use your story next Monday. All right, Sherry, Emerald City Jewelers is open from
9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday, Saturdays 9:30 to 3, and now Sundays from noon to 3.
And, of course, don't forget Mother's Day's coming up, so get in there soon.
Get in there soon. Order your mother's ring early.
Okay, we'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
That's it for this week's edition of Marry Me Monday, presented by Emerald City Jewelers. Join us next week, Monday, 7:25, for another exciting edition of Marry Me Monday. Celebrate your love.